The Asian Boyz, also known as ABZ, AB26, or ABZ Crips, are a street gang based in Southern California. They were founded in the late 1980s to protect Cambodian refugees from other American gangs. 1516. According to the FBI, the gang has about 12,000 members, who are predominantly Southeast Asian and especially Cambodian. Many Asian Boyz are also members of the U.S. military, some of whom use their position to traffic drugs. 14. According to the FBI's 2009 National Gang Threat Assessment, the Asian Boyz are active in 28 different cities in 14 different states across the U.S. History. The first Asian Boyz gang was formed in Long Beach, California in the late 1980s, drawing members from immigrant communities from Southeast Asia. 17. The founders of Long Beach Asian Boyz were originally Cambodian refugees who were being harassed by the East Side Longos during the 1980s. 18. Controversy lies mostly around the official origin of the gang, as it was a unification of multiple gangs or founding gangsters rather than the formation of one. Their identity also attracts notable controversy, being that the Cambodian sets are notoriously influential and decorated as their own faction of Crips that is, among other things, racially or ethnically distinct. During the mid-1980s in Long Beach, a group of Cambodian refugees formed the Tiny Rascal Gang in order to defend themselves from the East Side Longos. In the late 1980s, internal dispute happened within the Tiny Rascal Gang and members left to form the Long Beach Asian Boyz. The Long Beach Asian Boyz subset would be the first of many to come. One of the Asian gang that integrated with Long Beach Asian Boyz during the early 1990s was the Asian Boyz Insanity, ABI. Asian Boyz Insanity was an independent gang that operated in Chinatown, Los Angeles and parts of San Gabriel Valley in the late 1980s. Asian Boyz Insanity was predominantly Chinese and Vietnamese. The victim of the infamous pool hall shooting in El Monte in 1993 was Lee Mek, who was a member of the Asian Boyz Insanity. After Asian Boyz Insanity merged with Long Beach Asian Boyz, Asian Boyz Insanity formed Monterey Park Asian Boyz sometime the early 1990s. Then later in the mid-1990s, both Asian Boyz Insanity and Monterey Park Asian Boyz, MP-ABZ, became what is now known as Westside Asian Boyz, WS-ABZ. Another Asian gang that integrated with Long Beach Asian Boyz was called Van Nuys Asian Boyz or Asian Boy Style, ABS, which hailed from Van Nuys. The Asian Boy Style gang was formed in the late 1980s by Suthaplaya One Men, the Mercado brothers, and others. 1920 Asian Boy Style established itself in the Valerio Garden Apartments and had members spread out in other parts of Los Angeles County. By the mid-1990s, Van Nuys Asian Boy Style merged with Van Nuys Asian Boyz, a branch of Long Beach Asian Boyz, and became one gang. A notable difference emerged within the Asian Boyz organization, with the S and Z sides sparring with each other. The S side was comprised predominantly of ethnic Vietnamese, whereas, the Z side was composed predominantly of Cambodians. Most notably, that ethnic difference created a rift from within the organization that still remains. Notable crimes. In 1990–1991, Pierre Mercado was responsible for 4 murders, in an attempt to intimidate other gangs. He fled to the Philippines and remained there for 11 years until he was extradited to the United States in 2012. In 2013, Mercado was sentenced to 218 years to life in prison. In August 1997, the leader of the Asian Boyz Van Nuys Set, Sutha Men, was arrested in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and extradited to the United States after fleeing the country in the preceding January. He was wanted for committing 5 gang-related murders in the San Fernando Valley in 1995. In September 1998, Asian Boyz members were charged with 3 murders and 5 attempted murders. In 1996, the parents of 3 children in south-central Kentucky were herded into their bathroom and shot in the head. They were found dead hours later along with their 12-year-old daughter, who was also shot in the head yet survived. The carnage was the work of the Asian Boyz gang. The one who pulled the trigger, 17-year-old Safal Fan, eventually was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. On August 12, 2006, a fight broke out between Asian Bloods and ABZ gang members at a house in Lowell, Massachusetts, where a birthday party was being held. Asian Boyz members left the party and allegedly started throwing bottles and other objects. William Phan, 14, began firing at the Asian Boyz members. One of the shots hit Asian Boyz member Sam Nangoth, killing him. Phan was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to incarceration until the age of 21, with an additional requirement to serve a 5-year probation after his release. In December 2006, 3 members of the gang were charged with beating a 15-year-old boy named Sang Vu to death in Utica, New York. Richie Nguyen, who was 16, was sentenced to 5 to 15 years of prison for manslaughter. Sam Nang Jo was sentenced to 10 years of prison for second-degree assault. In March 2008, 4 men followed 24-year-old Vu Theo from Santa Rosa and stopped at a gas station near Jenner, California, where they fatally shot him in public. Quinton Russell, who was age 24 at the time, was the shooter, and Sarath Prak, David Prak, and Preston Cahan were charged in connection with the murder. All 4 defendants were convicted and sentenced to life without parole on July 27, 2012. In March 2011, founder Marvin Mercado was sentenced to life imprisonment for his mid-1990s murder of 8 people. The RECC-less Tigers originated in Fairfax County, Virginia, and expanded statewide in 2011 and sold thousands of pounds of marijuana, cocaine, ecstasy and prescription drugs throughout Northern Virginia. The group is affiliated with a California gang called the Westside Asian Boyz, and high-ranking members have recently been arrested for murder. In December 2018, a high-ranking member named Derek Pires was arrested in Fall River, Massachusetts following a shooting that left no injuries. Gang activity involving the ABZ gang and a rival Sereno gang has occurred in Monterey Park, California, in 2019, although it resulted in no life-threatening injuries or death. This set has more Chinese American and Vietnamese members. Membership. According to the FBI's 2009 National Gang Threat Assessment, membership is estimated at 5,000 to 10,000 members. Originally, most members were Cambodian, with a small portion of other Southeast Asian members. In the 1980s, the Asian Boyz expanded across the United States. Many factions remained in California, where they are still concentrated. Other factions spread throughout the Midwest and into New England. Factions have their own regional differences, which may include distinctions in culture, identity, structure, and ethnic exclusivity. On the West Coast, the Asian Boyz gang colors are blue and navy. These colors are similar to the Crips, who the Asian Boyz learned from and were heavily influenced by. While their speech and mannerisms are similar to those of Crips, they are known to dress in the fashion of West Coast trends, dated to the 1980s and 1990s. Younger members are known to dress along with current fashion trends. In the Midwest and on the East Coast, along with blue and navy, the gang also dons forest green, black, and white. Their style of dress leans more towards hip-hop casual. In the Midwest, members are known to be of Hmong 40 Burmese, Karen 41 and Karenni descent, while on the East Coast, from Virginia to Georgia, there are a lot more members of Korean and Chinese descent. In Utica there are many members of Karen descent, and many Cambodians, Vietnamese Americans, and Laotians. In Massachusetts, 42 Asian Boyz gang tattoos include a dragon head with crystal globes, a symbol of high rank and original status. Also common are sakyant tattoos that are supposed to offer power, protection, fortune, charisma, and other benefits for the bearer. Hereafter they are also known to have members in Indiana, Indianapolis and Fort Wayne, Minnesota, New York, Texas, and Massachusetts, as well as within the U.S. Armed Forces. Rivalries. Main article, Murder of Lee Mek. Many members of the Asian Boyz have been in a long conflict with the Watching Gang. One of the first shootouts between the two gangs occurred in the 1990s in an El Monte pool hall. An Asian Boyz gang member, Lee Mek, was killed by Watching Gang member Chiu Luong Yang. Another shootout between the two gangs occurred in San Marino that led to the deaths of 2 youths at a San Marino high school graduation party in June. After an investigation by the authorities, police claimed that when the Asian Boyz gang members arrived at the party, they noticed that watching gang members were there, prompting them to leave and return with weapons. At least 9 gang members were arrested, and police seized 5 weapons from homes searched in conjunction with the arrests. The shootouts between the two gangs were called Summer Madness by the Asian Boyz gang. If you like this video, please like, comment about your thoughts on this, subscribe and click the bell icon for further notifications.